Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Furman BMW in Palm Harbor, Florida, because guess what? We have my favorite current BMW available here at the dealership. This is a 2020 BMW M2 Performance, but guess what? It also has the optional gold forged wheels from M Performance. But let's talk a little bit about BMW. BMW has been around for so many years. Believe it or not, they first started building planes and airplane engines in World War I. After World War I, there's some cheap transportation that was needed in Germany. That's when they switched to motorcycles and then eventually cars. Of course, they still continue with motorcycles and cars, and they've built a brand based off of German engineering, German style, and definitely German performance. What I love about BMW is that they take what they build to the racetrack. They've won tons of races, whether it's sports cars, endurance races, Targa races, whatever you can think of, even the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans. This being a 2 Series, having that M badge means all that heritage, all the things learned on the racetrack, the technology, the engineering is pumped full into this car to give you ultimate performance. Many people, and I can't wait to get behind the wheel, say that this car drives like the M3s of the past, which remember M3 is the 3 Series, a little bit larger. But let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 M2 Competition. It's the only way now you could get an M2. There's no M2 and then the M2 Competition. This is the way you get it, but guess what? It's the right way to get it with as much power and performance. Right off the bat, I love the proportions of a 2 Series. Very, very nice and neat and tidy. You have that very brand recognizable headlight design, the halo headlight, daytime running lamp, full LED. When you see that, you should say BMW because that's part of their brand, those halos around the headlights. Full LED though, of course. As we come down, I like the way that BMW on their M cars integrates aerodynamic pieces right into the front fascia. So this lower lip extension here, this lower lip spoiler is gonna help give downforce, but then also scoop air into the large openings. As we come across the front, it screams BMW. You have the iconic kidney grill shape here. As you can see, it's kind of become a little bit like a butterfly, sort of extended, but still that tie back. You got the M2 badging. So when you see the M badge, that means performance. Those are the colors of the performance brand. Of course, the BMW logo, Bavarian Motor Works, that does not stand for a rotating blade. Get that out of your head. It's the Bavarian colors. I like the style of the lower grille opening area, plus the way that they have great design into that lip extension. Really shows aggression from the front. Plus, look at this, 2-finger width coming out on the fenders. That's what you get in an M car. You're gonna get totally different body proportions. On the hood, very light, subtle body lines that kind of just curve a little bit. Nothing too crazy when it comes to overall lines on the hood, but when you come around that bend, that flaring of that front fender, very, very nice. This is that, like I said, M Performance forged wheel. So it's a 19-inch wheel. Love the color of the gold with the black. Really reminds me of when cars used to have color combinations like that back in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s. Massive six-piston calipers. I love the M logo there. Look at those rotors. Those rotors, if you're having Thanksgiving this year for your family, those things, you could eat the turkey, the whole turkey right off of those rotors. That's how big it is. But I love the M branding. They're 2-piece rotors. When we say 2-piece rotors, we're literally talking about 1-piece, 2-piece. What that does is it helps dissipate heat, and it's gonna make a lighter rotor, which that's less rotating mass. And of course, being a forged wheel rather than aluminum, this forged aluminum, it's gonna give you quicker steering. Now, what's gonna keep you stuck to the track is, guess what? We got the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s. This is a track day tire. It's gonna give you ultimate stick, ultimate grip. The problem is you're not gonna get the best wear out of them. They're gonna wear a little quicker than standard Super Sports, but it shows the intention of this car. Track, performance, and with a look that's second to none. When we continue down the fender, I love even the little M2 badging here. Now this is a fake vent, but you know what? They kept it smooth, so I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna zonk it, but I like the way the body line, like an arrow, like the tip of an arrow, then goes right into the door. You can see how the lower sill kind of comes out just a little bit. All this is for aerodynamic efficiency. And the proportions are just spot on. This is why I love this car. It's just a great size. Very, very low roof, little bit of gloss black, and then probably one of my favorite parts is here. Look at how the rear fender actually flares out. I don't know if you could pick it up, but they actually put a piece of vinyl here to protect this area from getting chipped up by rocks and whatnot. That's how wide those fenders actually flare out. Out back, 19 by 10 inch wheels. That's gonna help get the traction to the ground. Remember, this is a rear wheel drive car. Even the rear calipers are 4-piston calipers. And rotors, all 4 corners are over 15 inches. That's gonna give you awesome stopping capability every single time that you could stop on a Euro and give people change. I promise you that. When we come out back, just a nice little trunk lid spoiler. I wish that this was carbon fiber, so I'm gonna zonk that. I think on the Competition, it should be carbon fiber, but you can see the extra width. I know this is for DOT purposes, Department of Transportation purposes here in the United States, but I don't like this red reflector. I want that out of there. But when we come across the back, there it is, the M2 badge, M2 Competition, quad exhaust with black tips. Love the rear diffuser. Just a very mean, aggressive look from front to back. Let's pop the hood and see what's powering this M2 Competition. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the M2 Competition. Now, there wasn't any carbon fiber with that trunk lid spoiler, but look at this. Nice wet weave carbon fiber for that front structural brace. That's gonna give you maximum rigidity so that this thing is gonna handle like it's on rails. Now, what you're looking at underneath this engine cover is gonna be a 3-liter inline 6 turbocharged engine. So that inline 6 power, 405 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. It weighs around 3,600 pounds. You could get a 7-speed DCT or a manual transmission, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, quarter mile in 12.4 at 114 miles an hour. And if you're wondering about MPGs, which, to be honest with you, if you're buying a car like this, you probably should go get a Prius or something, but 17 in the city, 23 in the highway. At the end of the day, like I'm saying, you open this up, you see that M-Power, you know about the history, you know about the tradition, and with over 400 horsepower in a car that weighs 3,700 pounds, that sounds like a ton of fun. But before we get to any driving portion, let's fire up this M2 and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the M2 Competition. I never knew this day would come, but I am so happy to be in this car. Like I said, it's my favorite BMW. You could have an M8, you could have your M3. I want an M2, I really do. But if you're wondering, well, what is the MSRP? Joe, you love this car. I'm starting to love this car. How much is it? This one is optioned at $72,800. That's MSRP. If you're wondering, well, why is it $72,000? Just the wheels is a $6,600 option. So just to put in perspective, but I'm telling you, they're drop dead sexy. Let's go to the door panels. Now, I like what's going on with the door panel. Even though there's a lot of dark material, I love the Alcantara. I love the light blue stitch work, leather on the armrest. Really just a great, clean setup that looks sporty, says performance. You get a Harman Kardon sound system in here. When you come to the dash, you actually have, just like at the top of the door, on the top of the dash, you have nice soft material, simulated stitching, that carbon fiber weave going on. I like the brushed aluminum look. And then you have your infotainment system. Now, when it comes to your infotainment system, it is a little on the smaller side, but what's wonderful about it is that you do have touchability. So if you like touching your screen, that's a great thing. But if you don't, you could use the BMW iDrive, which I'll show you in a second. Now, one thing I want to point out in case you ever go in an M2, here's the unlock lock button. So if you're in your brand new M2 and you go to pick up your girlfriend, or say it's a first date, make sure you unlock the door for her the right way so you're not sitting there looking like a newbie. I like the slim and trim radio controls, CD player, you can rock out to Pearl Jam, and then you have dual climate control, heated seats, but no ventilated seats. So I am gonna zonk it at $72,000. I want ventilated seats. You got a nice little cubby area here for a phone or whatnot. Open that up. Here is our key fob. Now here's another thing I'm gonna zonk. This is your key fob for your M2 Competition. There's no M branding whatsoever on this thing. I actually thought they gave me the wrong key, to be honest with you. But you have two cup holders, You do have a 12 volt and a USB. This is going to be controlling that 7-speed DCT. Here's a little fun fact. If you ever are driving one of these for the first time and you need to put it in park, the way you do it is you just leave it in drive and turn the engine off. It'll go into park. Don't be looking for a P button, because there's no P button. Heated steering wheel, you shut off your traction control. Here's your BMW iDrive. So I'm gonna go back up and we're gonna show you how to use this on the screen. So you go back to your menu, you could either twist or you could bump, whatever you wanna do. We go into My Vehicle. You could go into your different vehicle settings and whatnot, which is really nice. Another thing is that you do have modes that you could go through, which we'll show you that when we get to the business end. You got that carbon fiber look going on, leather on the good old-fashioned e-brake, Alcantara with the blue stitching, more blue stitching, soft. We lift that up, wireless charging, and a USB, and then check out these seats. Specific to the M2, love the design. I love the way the blue shines through. Bolstering is actually really good. It's just right to where it's gonna hold you in place, but it's not gonna squeeze the heck out of you. Plenty of headroom. You could go do your track day, get your helmet on, you still got plenty of room, but why don't you get on over to the business end, because there's a little piece of race car heaven over here I wanna show you. All right guys, business end, you can see that we have two-way memory setting on the seat, full adjustable with bolstering and everything. Notice how high that the bolstering does come up on my leg and the side bolstering. I'm not gonna lie, it's not like you're not being squeezed a little bit, but in this car, you wanna be squeezed because you wanna be able to feel what the car is doing. Steering wheel, love it, love this steering wheel. The thickness, the Alcantara, the leather, the blue striping, and then you have the motorsport colors through the inside. Nice, high class, nice touch with the M logo at the bottom. You have your paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down that 7-speed DCT, and then instrumentation is simple and straightforward. You have your tach, you have your speedometer. I like the way that it's digital, but you have physical bezels there. And then I also like the way the fuel gauge and other instrumentation is placed as well. Now you do have modes that you could go through, which is great, and I'll show you that when we go for the drive. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the trunk area, because I'm not getting in the back seat of this M2. It's not capable for somebody 6 feet tall, I'll tell you that right now, but let's check out the trunk. All right guys, the trunk of an M2, we go ahead, lift it up. Actually quite impressive for the 2 Series. The opening is a decent size. You got plenty of space. Those seats are gonna do a 60-40 split, so you could go do your track day, bring some goodies with you, have them in the back, and you'll be able to bring home the trophy and have plenty of room in the trunk for that trophy. But why don't we get to the best part? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this M2 Competition for a spin. All right guys, we're in the M2. We're leaving Furman BMW, pulling out here, having it in manual mode, on throttle. Wow! I love the way these DCT shift so fast and with such authority. Now, me personally, you know, and I know, and everybody else, I would go manual transmission in this car. I don't care if I'm losing 0.2 of a second or whatever. This thing just screams to just be driven with a manual, which thankfully I had the opportunity to drive an older, little bit older M2. I think it was like a 2018 M2 in manual transmission affair. This one with the DCT is obviously going to be the quicker route. I'm not going to lie about that. I don't care if you're Mario Andretti. You're still not going to outshift this DCT. But I do have it in Sport Plus mode. And of course, just very, very smooth. I like the sounds that you get in this. Very, very nice on throttle. It really puts you back in the seat. And it feels faster than the numbers say. This actually feels faster than the M4 that we drove here on Rady's Rise, but very, very smooth. The power delivery, the steering wheel is just a thing to not only look at and love, but also hold in your hands and love. Absolutely love it. And the feedback, this really behaves like the older M cars, the M cars of the past. That's what I like. It's all about feedback. That's what gives you confidence. And I definitely got to give a huge shout out and thank you to Cody for arranging this whole M2 for us at Furman, because he is the man with letting us know what they have exactly when they get it. Hey guys, another acceleration test. That, I'm telling you, the way it hits second, the way you just feel it in your chest. Wow, look at this. Amazing, absolutely. And the brakes, I mean, those are a thing of beauty. The way that you're able to get such great pedal feel, nice and firm, and it's gonna slow you down the way that you need to be slowed down very quickly, but without a lot of drama, because that's what's gonna allow you to turn faster lap times in this. Driving it, very, very smooth. The seats hold me great. I have no complaints about the seats. There may be some people, it just all depends on your body type, how the seats are gonna fit you, but you can adjust them really, really well in many different ways. I would like ventilation coming from the seats right now, especially on a warmer day, but you know what? Still, just, I feel very solid. This thing is so solid and so nimble. It's ready to dance at any moment. I like looking out the windshield because the A-pillars are pulled wide apart, looking out the back window's a breeze, and those stylish mirrors. I think BMW does some of the best styled mirrors. The housings are just look like they've been curved from clay in a wind tunnel. That's really what they look like. But even driving around nice and smooth, you get a nice little grumble coming from the front and the back of the car, and just overall easy to look at. The gauges, they're so clear, so crisp, and you feel like you're in something special, that's for sure. All right guys, we're gonna see if we can get a little bit of twisty bit action here on throttle. Really, really smooth. On the brakes, nice. Downshift, the way it just shifts with authority into this right-hand bend on throttle. She grips, fires us off like a rocket. You're waiting for the boost, and then you're off. Really great feedback coming from the front end of the car. I mean, wow, through this transition here, whew. Really, really just secure but light. I love it. You can feel the difference in the weight from driving a car like the M3 or the M4 or anything bigger, an M8 or an M850i. You could really feel the weight difference, and that's where it's paying you back big dividends, huge dividends, because it's the confidence at the end of the day. And if you feel more confident and are able to control the power more efficiently than somebody with a higher horsepower car, you're gonna come out the winner. Downshift third, on throttle, that boost when it kicks in, wow. The sound, the sensations, and there's just a little bit of lag, but I like it. And the reason why is because it gives you that feeling of just being launched out of a rocket. Once the boost kicks in, you're just like, boom, gone. It's so smooth. So very, very smooth. I'll put it in automatic mode just to give us an idea of what that shift's like. Having that DCT, I'm glad that they went the 7-speed DCT route rather than the 8-speed automatic. I feel like the shifts are just quicker, they're more deliberate, and they shift with authority over the 8-speed. And I really don't think another gear is really needed for this car. You're gonna have plenty of performance, plenty of power, and plenty of speed for sure. All right guys, I just wanna give you a little taste. Acceleration in automatic mode. We're gonna come to a stop here real quick, and then we're going to get on it on throttle. Here we go. I'm telling you, the way it shifts and does the business, it really gets the power down efficiently. And when that boost kicks, I love the feel. It's like an old school feel. It feels like an old school BMW. Not only old school in the sense of the turbo, but also old school in the sense of the feedback that you're getting from the steering wheel. You could go into your different drive modes whenever you want. I'm just leaving it in Sport Plus because that feels the best for me, to be honest with you. But I just overall love how this car drives. Very smooth, and at the end of the day, you can just cruise around as if, hey, you weren't doing anything wrong. But hopefully this gave you a great feel of what this M2 Competition is about. Hopefully I was able to show you some of the performance of it, and just very easy to use. Everything is nicely laid out, and just makes sense. But we're gonna go ahead, wrap this one up, and I'm gonna see you back at Furman BMW in a split second. All right guys, I know what M stands for. It stands for magical, masterful, because it's been one of those days here at Furman BMW. Definitely gonna thank David, Allen, the rest of the crew, getting us access to this M2 Competition. You were there for the ride. That 7-speed DCT, such a fast shifting transmission, over 400 horsepower underneath the hood. Is the M2 a good competitor to the Supra, the Cayman, the GT350? I'm gonna say heck yeah. And it's nice to have options at the end of the day. But if it's performance cars you like to see like these on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Raised Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, learning all about this M2. He's studying it like somebody studies Braille. I mean, it's just amazing. So thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.